Well, it's coffee time, and it's not lunchtime, it's not supper time, it's 2:04. What's that meal between lunch and supper?
Between breakfast and lunch is
early supper. Maybe it's lumper. Whatever it is, we're having it. This will be our supper. It is our Southern Sunday lunch. And it's going to be delicious. And we're ready for it, Mama.
Yeah.
Now, I have nothing against the sauces and the jars. And I use them often. In fact, I use them more often than I make homemade. But just to prove y'all that I could make homemade if I wanted to. And Mama can too. We're going to make homemade meatballs in red sauce. Mama's got the spaghetti over here. Mama, you want to show me your spaghetti?
Oh, I just got it in the spaghetti.
And that's how much a box?
No, that's a little over half a box.
Half a box? Show them how much water you're going to put in it so they'll know.
Well, the water level up to right there. If you can see where my finger is in there.
Right up there. Okay. So, we will have, and she'll put salt and butter in that, even though they say not to. We do it because we want to. It doesn't hurt it. Sorry, Tupperware. We washed it out, and it's just as good and ready to go as ever. We always put our butter and our salt in there while we're cooking it, because it's the only time you can add pasta. You can add flavor to pasta is while it's cooking. You don't get another shot at that. And then at the end, we will put a little olive oil on it, probably just for flavor. And a lot of people say it don't hold sauce, so it works okay. I am just chopping up a little bit of yellow onion. In that pot over there on the stove is that pint of tomato juice that we had the other night that we didn't use all of it. And I've got some stewed tomatoes right there that Mama's going to add to that. That's the only thing over there. And then all this goodness is going in. I love homemade sauce, and it just takes a little while, but it's Sunday afternoon. We're not in a great hurry today, and it's a good chance to.
You can put it on you, because I'm leaving.
The butterfly is floating away. You can put it on you, she said. Alright, so I'm just chopping up some onion. And I'm just chopping it kind of fine. Not doing the big old knife or even my usual cutting board. Just got this little Tupperware cutting board because it was right here in this drawer. And this is what I like to use it for. Is for just a small onion or something. I'm not doing a lot of chopping. And it was handy. You know how it is. Let's be real. It was handy. And this is it. So into this bowl is a pound of chuck. We had debated on a couple of dishes today. And Mama said, I've got that hamburger we need to use. Bought it Friday. And ground chuck. So I said spaghetti would be delicious. And meatballs. And homemade sauce. And Mama said, okay. So I'm going to put about half of these in this meat. And I'm going to give Mama the other half to put in her pot. And they're all eventually going to end up in the same pot. Okay? So this is just my made-up version of our meatballs. Don't go out and say, you know, that I didn't tell you ahead of time. This is just ground chuck. And actually, this isn't what. Did you put this in the freezer?
Yeah, that came out the freezer.
Oh, okay.
I had that in the freezer.
Okay, because it's a little stiff.
It's a little frozen.
It's a little froze.
I had it out. Well, not on one. We didn't have electricity this morning.
We didn't have electricity. Everything should be a little thawed. This is thawed. It's just a little firm. I thought this was about fried.
Is these my onions right here?
Those are yours, Mama. All yours. So we've got more chuck somewhere that we'll be using this week. That's a good thing, isn't it? Mama does rotate well. Sometimes I don't do as good as she does. I think, yeah, I'll pick it up later. So this is the meatballs. Gonna be, and I'm just gonna make a little hole in there because I don't want to get another bowl out. These are just breadcrumbs from our store, but you use whatever you got. It don't matter.
Have you got enough? Do I need to get some more?
No, this is, it says on here that they use, and there's a half a cup. I use a half a cup plus. These are not Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. So these are Italian style. I maybe used a little over half a cup in mine. This is canned cream or evaporated milk, as you all call it.
First, I just use it all, but Lord, there's a lot left.
There's a bunch in there, Mama. This will make the meatballs moist. You can use this also if you're doing like sausage balls for the holidays. You want some breadcrumbs and milk. That makes a good soft.
Here's your egg.
That makes a good soft, moist. You want to stir that in together. So to drink all that milk. Breadcrumbs was hungry for some milk.
They are thirsting.
They were, and I'm going to check my egg. I just don't use a separate bowl. Mama uses a separate bowl. I'll put it back.
Oh, you got it.
I got a garbage bag going. Alright, so, and I'm just going to stir that egg in there just to get that yolk all together. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put some.
Put a little of those Italian seasons in this one.
Oh, yes.
Sauce to let it get going.
This is just McCormick Italian seasoning.
I'm going to sprinkle a little bit too.
I'm just putting pepper. This is just table black pepper. This is salt. Just putting salt in there. I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here. About a good hearty tablespoon. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Y'all recognize this? It's just tomato paste. Tomato paste makes a rich tomatoey flavor. Putting about a good tablespoon of that in there as well. And Italian seasoning, McCormick's. And I'm just putting a good amount. I'm going to say a good tablespoon. A little bit of Heinz ketchup. About a good tablespoon of that. That's all. Except this little baggie here. You see, you can't see it on there. It says Greek oregano. Why is he putting a little bit of seasoning out of a baggie? My cousin grew this. The one who makes the grinders, the one who makes his own bowls, his own spoons, he grows all kinds of oregano. And he sings them. He loves the oregano.
And basil.
And basil. And I didn't know there wasn't any. This one is called Greek oregano. It just gives it a different flavor. Chances are y'all may not have that. You can add just your regular oregano. But the Italian seasons has most of that in it too. I'm just adding it in there because I've got it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. And I just roll my mixture around here till everything's incorporated. This is where
that is going to make 10 tons of meatballs.
It's going to make a bunch. So once you get the whatever size you want.
I'm going to make them little so they get done fast.
Okay.
They got the big scoops way too big. It'd be like a hamburger.
But you can make these large. If I were going to make them large, I would probably just scoop them out, roll them up, and use them for an entree. You don't have to have, meatballs don't have to be little bitty things in your spaghetti. That can be your main dish. I also make a mixture like this, similar to this, and I stuff shells, big jumbo shells. So this, as you can see, is all combined. Now some people, this is where they say, folks, you got to use your hands and just get in there. Use the tools God gave you. That's fine. I don't do that. I don't like it. No, I'm not afraid of meat. No, I'm not afraid to touch meat. I just don't like mashing it around between my fingers and all that stuff. Now on the back of your breadcrumbs, there is a recipe here. A pound of ground chuck, a half a cup of minced onions, a third cup of Italian-style seasoned breadcrumbs, fourth of a cup of milk, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/4 tablespoon of pepper. So that's their version. Now, once I get it mixed up like this, I add a little parsley. And that's just so that it looks so good. And I like the way it looks, so that's why I do it. It's just a vanity thing. But you want to mix this up with your hands, you go ahead. You do you. This is your kitchen. Remember that. If you don't like to, don't do that.
Okay, I've got your skillet out and the oil in it. It ain't hot yet, but I got it ready for you.
So, I think I should put these out probably on a plate, and I'll make them here, and I'm not going to drop them in because I'm going to be done. I want to put them all in at one time, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to just go over to the stove and drop in, because it'll take a minute to do this. Another little secret about the parsley.
It's and stuff over here.
You already seen that. She was like an acrobat. Another little thing about the parsley. When you put the parsley in at the end, like I did, it shows up and you can see it. So I also know that it's all mixed thoroughly. That's a good way. If you're like, did I mix that up good? Is all your parsley mixed evenly? Then everything else is too. You just can't see those other ingredients, but you can the parsley. So I usually just roll it up like this in one big meatball. When I get to there, then I make my meatballs. Now you can worry about if they're rolled and all that tight. I don't. Because when you drop them in that tomato, they're going to cook. And they're going to be beautiful meatballs. Now you can roll them in your hands. We may do that just to show you all how, but I'm going to tell you I've done it without it and it works fine. I don't mind rolling them. It's that gushing. I don't want to gush them.
I'll wet my hands and load.
Mama's going to wet her hands and do them, she said. Look at that pro. This is a lot of meatloaf. Meatballs.
Makes meatloaf out of it.
Yeah, you could make meatloaf out of this.
It's a lot, and I don't think we need any more meatloaf.
Oh, meatballs are good for a minute, Mama. You can be eating on these tomorrow for lunch.
I don't want to eat on them.
I can eat on them for a few days. I definitely be taking these for my lunch tomorrow. I love good homemade meatballs and good spaghetti. You are making them pretty, Mama. You'll have a whole pile of these.
I don't think we need them all.
Well, what are you going to do with all
You're
these?
going to make meatloaf and make you a sandwich out of it. You'll have meatball sandwiches.
Meatball sandwiches, we could do that. I've got sub bread over there.
I make a hole and you fill it.
Teamwork, that's what they call it.
I was making it for me to lay my meatballs in.
Now you could do half this recipe if you wanna. These are good little hors d'oeuvres for Christmas as well. Aren't they, Mom?
Yeah. Oh, Johnny, their kettle's going to be overflowing.
I love an overflowing kettle.
I don't. It's on the stove.
I don't want it to really overflow, but I do want it to be nice and full. Don't want nobody to go away going, I wish I could have had a little bit more of that, but it was gone.
Well, there ain't nobody going to go away hungry from this.
No. So even with a big family, this was just a pound of chuck. You could do half a pound for less people, but let me tell you, Mama, you know what we could do if you don't want to cook them all? We'll freeze them. We'll put them in there, flash freeze them today, and then we'll put them in a bag separately, and we'll put them in a crock pot and serve them for Christmas.
I don't know about serving for company froze.
I do all the time. I buy them at the store froze.
I know it, but not.
Not homemade froze.
No.
Mama's
Are you
strict.
through?
I'm through. My bowl is empty. You can use these in a crock pot. You can fix them just like this. Put them in a crock pot. We'll put Prego in it. And most of the time I'll use orange marmalade jelly. Put it in there. And it's delicious.
Ooh, let Miss Gilly get too hot over there.
Just set it off. So there is a big old pile of homemade meatballs. There you are. Are you entertaining just you and Mama? It's just me and Mama today, but when we do entertain, we normally always have meatballs. That's one of our usuals. Let's go over here.
I don't think you want over here.
Why? Mama don't want us over there is what it
That's
is.
grease. It's too hot.
Don't put grease on the stove and leave it. That's the point. Let's look right down here in this pot. Oh, it's hot over here.
It's because the grease is hot.
Okay, this is just tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes, onions, and our seasoning. Mama, I think we might need another tomato juice. Smells wonderful. Mama's gonna fry these meatballs just to brown them. It'll help to speed the process, but also seals in the flavor. Makes them taste a little better, don't it, Mama?
Yeah. Get a coating on them.
Get them done just right.
Some of these are fatter than the others.
I wonder who done that. Was that you, Mama?
No, all I done was rolled out the portion I had.
You were the roller.
I couldn't make it bigger or littler if I rolled.
It always goes back to the roller.
I've got it turned way down. It should be browning up there. It should cool off as much as I put in there.
You had it pretty hot, Mama.
I know it. Get in there to put some more of these. Let it cool down.
This is the way you dance the meatball dance. Round and around.
Are you going to eat sub sandwiches out of this or something later?
Why, yeah. Why wouldn't I?
I'll fix them a lot of these real silly.
It's 1 pound and our what how many you have. 1 pound is all it is, Mama. And we'll try to turn that one again. You just want to brown them, keep them turned. Might have to use a spatula. These are so good. Your friends will like them. Anyone who eats them will say, oh, those were so good. Can we get the recipe?
And When you open that door and close it down, so we'll quit beeping.
Is the noodles already finished?
They should be.
Oh, you know, this smell like delicious meatloaf or something frying.
Yeah. We'll pour a can of tomato sauce over the one left and eat it like meatloaf.
There you go, Mama. Put you some more in there.
When you get those all turned, we'll have 3 more. 1 more after that one.
Put it right in there. Make it a nice little.
You're not
There you
going
go.
to be able to turn it.
Oh, Mama, I'll turn it. Do y'all do yours this way? Is this a common thing, or is this just me and Mama? This is doing well, but I think it needs more sauce.
Shall we get a can of tomato sauce or another can of tomatoes?
Maybe this sauce. It's good and thick and chunky. It looks delicious. This has cooled down, so it's humming along at the normal rate now. Humming along about where you want it now. You don't want them to. You want them to be done.
We need more tomato sauce too.
More tomato sauce on the list.
Because this does it. I mean, there's one more can of tomato sauce. There's crushed tomatoes.
And this is why a lot of people use a jar of ragu, especially on weeknights when you're like, I'm tired and I just want to eat. So you open up a jar and pour it in here. Not that this may not taste better, but reality is it's hard to cook a fully homemade meal without a few cheats along the way every day. We understand that, and we support a good cheat when it comes to food. Well, I thought I went all the way around. This is just tomato sauce going in here. That will cool that in a minute. That will cool that down just a bit. So we'll let it come back up. Rinse out those cans. Let's check our meatballs.
All I did today was put Italian seasonings in there. And them stewed tomatoes had a few peppers in them. You can see them.
Yeah. Whoops. Mama gave y'all a little
I
shove.
should have done, I'm sorry.
Well, sure you did, Mama. You always do.
I'm rough on them.
Mama always gives y'all just a little shove. Keeping us awake.
Make sure they know what's going on.
That's right. Mama's like, are y'all listening? That's what she does to me too. Every once in a while she gives me a little shove. Make sure I'm paying attention.
Need to make sure you're awake and listening.
That's right. Sometimes I need it, don't I?
Yeah. And you get rowdy at church when there's real little ones.
I can't hear you, Mama.
I said, when you're as rowdy at church and real little.
I never was rowdy.
Who was it got on the front seat and snored so loud? And the preacher said,
I've heard stories that I have never been proven.
well, I know you can ask the ones that deserve.
I don't trust all of them.
And the preacher said, that's all right, Mama. Just sit right back down. I'll get louder. So he started preaching louder to go over your snore.
I hope he didn't wake me up.
No, he didn't. I like to beat you to death. I said, don't you ever fall asleep and snore on that front seat like that.
That sounds like poor parenting to me.
Poor parenting.
I don't think it was the fault of the child.
Yes, it was the fault of the child for going up there going to sleep.
Children have always slept in church.
Not snoring.
I don't think I snored.
Yeah. Because I started to get up to go get you, and he said, just sit back down, Mom. That embarrassed me to do. I'll get louder.
These went in first, so they'll come out first. Let's see what we got. Let's start putting them in our sauce.
You want the spaghetti dipper to do it, or you do
No, I think I'd rather
let it drain?
Let it drain a little bit. These are ready to go into the sauce. And they'll need to cook a few minutes. Let's turn the sauce back up. I want it to get a good boil. A good seasoning boil. These smell so good. That Italian smell. It's all drifting in here. It's all drifting away here. When you load your pan, load from one side and come over. That way when you start unloading, you know which ones have been in there the longest.
I told you that pill is not going to hold by the thing.
Oh, but Mama, I think it surely will.
Mm-hmm.
We've had to switch kettles before.
I know it. I don't think you need it on big burner.
Let that sauce get in all of them. Let the sauce roll there. These I brought over, so these on this side are about there. That one definitely is. Man overboard.
Uh-oh. I heard that. It's like I'm back to it.
Safe. Now this is the homemade version. A lot of people make homemade every time, and I do applaud you all because that is a dedication. Mama, if you want to get that bread, we'll put it over in the Easy Bake.
I'm not good.
We're just going to slice off some Italian bread. This is a little bit of a process, but it's well worth it.
You can come show your carving skills, and I'll finish doing the meatballs.
You're going to finish these?
Mm-hmm.
These 5 right here are the last ones, I think, that we put in. We'll give them just a minute, but it's definitely going to fit in the pot. Definitely going to fit in the pot. You don't want to stir too much. You want to keep the integrity of your meatballs. There it is, folks. Let's go over here and cut us up some of this wonderful bread. We've been dodging bread, and it's been a good thing. There's nothing wrong. But today,
Oh, that fell apart.
some of them should have put another egg in that amount.
I think so.
But some of them, all they do is turn into meat sauce, and that's fine too. Now I'm going to cut this end piece off. This bread is so soft. I'm going to cut this end piece off. And I do that for two reasons. And I'll show you in a second. So now I'm just going to cut this off a couple of pieces. We're not going to go crazy with it, and I'm going to do them a little thinner than maybe normal. I'm going to put the minced garlic.
Minced garlic.
Yeah. So here is our pan. And I'm gonna just lay our bread out here. You want more than a piece or two, Mama?
Couple is about all I will eat.
Couple will be good. And this is so easy, we can always go back. And I'm gonna put a good amount of juice in here of the garlic. And then a good amount of the garlic too. This is soft butter. We leave our butter out all the time, but it sits
That's
over.
what we're using on, though.
What we're using on. We don't leave a box of butter out. We use a stick out, maybe two, and that's it. Mama's put up everything we got. No, she just moved it. So I'm gonna put a little parsley. Just to be fancy. And a little Italian seasoning. And that really is for the taste. I just cut a little hole in this. Well, should have cut a little bigger hole. About a teaspoon. This is a compound butter. Y'all seen me do this before. And I'm just going to use this case knife to mix it. I could get out a little spatula and a brush. And yeah, I could. But I ain't gonna. Alright.
Well, I don't believe it, but it'll help.
It did, Mama. I had you have faith. I had faith the whole time. Plus, I've met them in that before. So that's our compound butter, and I'm going to add a dash of salt just because I want. And I'm going to, this is just olive oil. So I'm going to add a little olive oil on my bread. Just like this. And then I'm going to turn it over.
That's something on that burner as well. Where you got a little bit of meat. There's nothing on fire.
Okay. I didn't think so. Now this butter will last. There's nothing wrong with it to put it back in the refrigerator. And the way I usually store it is I put it on plastic wrap, and then I roll it up and close the ends off, and I have a little roll, and when it gets cold it makes like a little stick of butter. And then I'm just going to cover the tops of these with this completely. I don't use garlic powder because that would be easy, but there's something in the powder. I'm not allergic to garlic, I found out, but there's something in the powder. Whatever they use to stabilize that powder or keep it from clumping. But it's funny to me, a lot of stuff has anti-clumping. Don't seem to bother me, but every time I eat garlic in a powder, I get very ill with it, just sick. I've tried different brands, have not tried them all. And the Yall's brand does not, the one that's got the garlic in it, it does not bother me. So we have found that out. So 2 pieces of bread is all we're allowing ourselves. Oh, the struggle is real. I can put a piece of saran wrap over that bowl and just keep that little smidge in case we use it tomorrow. Now, this is the reason I cut this little piece off. Didn't use it. For one thing, it'd just be these little pieces. I would use that and toast it, but then I just kept it back on here. And then I pull my bag back over it. And that helps to keep it fresh, even though it's in this bag. I don't want to take all the air out. Even though it's in this bag, that will help to keep it a little fresher. And there, it's ready for the next time. And that end will be quite fresh. Alright, let's chat while that is simmering. Now, you don't have to cook red sauce for 6 or 8 hours. But you can if you're into making sure it's exactly like Grandma made. But we don't, and it tastes good. It tastes real good. A lot of trolls on here today, Susan. I'm sorry. They come. I don't know. Hope y'all are having a good one. We are. We're having a great day. Carol, how are you? Oh, he stands and walks. Oh, it's a miracle. He's walked today. Folks, I can't stand. The Lord has blessed me and I can walk. It's just I sit here when we video. The rest of the time, I usually cook over there and over there. I stand. That's my corner right there. I stand there, prep my stuff, and turn around to the stove. But when we're filming, I've said this about 10,000 times. I'm tall, and I can barely get everything in this camera the way it is. So that's the way it is. And besides that, what's it matter? What if I just want to sit here? It's okay. Try not to worry about the crazy things in life. Try not to let yourself get burdened down with every little thing. That's not the purpose of the video. The purpose is to laugh and have a good time. And that's what we want you to do. Hey, John and Mama, want you a lot. Love your show. Well, thank you, Kathy. Y'all are so sweet. And we love y'all being here.
Can I put the bread in there, or you reckon it's too soon?
No, it ain't too soon. I thought it was wet on the oven. It's not too soon, Mama. You want me to put it in?
No,
I can walk over there and put it in.
I got 4 slices of bread. I can handle that.
I'm being mean. It just amazes me at some of the comments we get. That matters nothing to nobody, but people will make them anyway. Love coffee time with John and Mama. Hey, Nancy, we love you too. We're glad to have you. Speaking of coffee time, it is time for some coffee. Mama is doing what she wants to do. Oh, Deborah. Today, tomorrow, and always. Mama don't do a whole lot that she don't want to do.
I try not to do nothing I don't want to do.
Exactly. So when you see her flitting around and John is making Mama do all the work.
Let me have your cutting board.
Mama, John make you work.
Yeah.
You don't help a thing, Mama. That's the reason we have trolls, because Mama says stuff like that.
No.
You can't joke, Mama. They don't take. Some of them don't take jokings.
Well, we joke. I can't help it.
Do I make you do anything?
Nope. You might try to make me stay off a little.
I try to make her do less, and it don't work. There's some real conversations goes on here sometimes.
You'd say, don't do that, Sid. Leave that. I'll do it. Don't. I hear that a lot anymore.
Exactly. And what do you do?
I go ahead and do it
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We had this little round right before y'all started. And I can even prove this one.
No, don't start proving stuff. It's embarrassing to me.
I hear this noise right before I was getting ready
See if
to
that's
go live.
the when you're talking or being.
And I said, Mama, what are you doing through the hallway? I go through there, and here she comes. I'm going to show you this. I just want to show. I just want to show y'all this. Hold on just a second.
I wasn't lifting it.
I wasn't lifting it. Just to prove to some of y'all, now I've got about 45 cords, I just now lost light. So that means something's happened here. Hold on 2 seconds. This is real folks right here. This is when the light goes out. There. Okay. Cords everywhere under my feet. So I hear this commotion. Now Mama is in the mood this weekend to carry on.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tell them. I want y'all to see this. So this is an antique trunk. That right there. And it was back in one of the bedrooms. Do you see how it's on that rug upside down? That's Mama's travel method. Now that trunk is not empty. That trunk is full.
I did empty it.
Uh-huh.
I did empty it. It sure enough is.
So this is an antique trunk. And she slides it like that through the house. Here's the tree. It's not lit yet. She'll get mad at me for showing trees.
Yeah, it's not really time to show trees.
Now that's the kind of stuff I deal with on the daily. Because Mama does what she wants to do. That's also the kind of logic she uses when she says, I've not been on the ladder. I only use the first step.
To me, that's not climbing. That's just a one step up. Better close that.
Mama,
I about throwed your season on it.
have you been on the ladder?
Not today, I've not.
I've not been climbing it.
None today.
What? Yeah. That's the logic she uses.
Moving today.
We have one of those antique steamer trucks. Yeah. We love them.
That was your daddy's?
That was my great uncle's. And my daddy's uncle. And he basically lived out that his whole life. I mean, it sat at the foot of his bed. His shirt, however many he had, were folded and put on top of it. His blanket was in the bottom. A couple pair of pants. He wore overalls about every day. And that was it. He lived a simple little life. But he loved it. And he stayed with my granny and his brother, my papa. And so my daddy grew up with him. And his name was Wiley. And a lot of them say, you're like Wiley.
Yeah, you're made like him and everything.
He was a pretty fella, they say.
He's pretty.
That's a lot of life, Mama.
It was kind of funny.
So that's his trunk. But Mama wants it out there in the other room. So she comes hauling it through. Now I'm home.
You was busy, I think.
I was sitting here getting ready to start the video, getting everything set up.
Oh, that's
getting everything prepped, getting everything trying to, and I said, Mama, what are you doing back there? And then I hear, that's what we deal with you on a daily basis.
Check that spaghetti I asked you to. Quit telling tales something.
So I make Mama do nothing. In fact, I wish she would do less, and I tell her so. I tell her so. So if you're worried about Mama, don't worry. This is perfect, Mama.
I thought it would be.
I can smell it. It smells wonderful.
Oh, and buttery. Sure, you can have that now.
We don't drain our spaghetti. You can drain it right here in these holes. We don't drain it because then it just dries out. So we drain it to the spoonful, and we don't have any trouble with it. And some spaghetti does retain more water, but this doesn't seem to be ever having problem with it. We got a hold of some different pastas not long ago. Mama, do we have tea made?
No, both jugs empty. Sorry, I got busy doing.
Moving steamer trunks, and I didn't get a chance to make Southern
You
sweet
don't want that, do you?
y'all Southern tea.
No, I didn't.
All right. So there's our skitty. Here comes the sauce and the bread. And that's the homemade version. That's the reason it's so easy to dump a jar of Prego in there and call it a day and get you some frozen meatballs. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Here's the meatballs and the sauce, the red sauce. I've not tasted of it. You really should taste of it before you serve it. But
You'll just have to taste of it now.
I've made it.
I'm going to drink the rest of my Coke.
I'm going to drink this coffee, Mom.
Oh, good.
The garlic bread smells wonderful.
Oh, I reckon it does. I opened up that door. Ooh,
It went kaboom right to the top of your head, didn't it?
I could smell it.
So,
Don't
here's...
give me a whole lot because I need to leave.
And she says that every time.
Yeah.
Here's the spaghetti, and this is what I do. I just take a spaghetti spoon.
It's not showing up. It's right below it.
Well, this is what I do.
That's a showing up.
And I let it drain a second. And then we go on our plate with it. That's it. That gets the job done. That way, whatever's left in there. Now, if you're an al dente only person, it would probably cook too much for you. So that's a good reason. Now, Mama don't always
This
use...
is hard, crunchy like I think. It's not as brown. It's brown around the edges.
Because that's solid, covered in solid butter.
Okay.
There's the bread. You got the olive oil
I've put it.
over there.
I've put it up.
So here's an aerial view of everything. Now, I like a little olive oil on my spaghetti. I need to replenish my jar. Do you want any olive oil in yours, Mama?
No.
No. So I like a little olive oil, and then I like to take a little bit of the deliciously, preciously grated Parmesan right out of the jar, and I mix it in with my noodles. I mix it in with my noodles just a little bit, and then I add my sauce. My sauce goes on there. And my sauce and my meatballs. And voila. Just like downtown. Isn't it, Mama?
Yeah.
Meatballs and spaghetti. If you want to do the bread.
I'll give you a piece of bread. I'm sure you will.
Here's yours. Put yours in here.
This is a thick piece for you.
Okay.
And I'll take the spinner in here. Well, it's a little thick on one side, that great
Look at
piece.
Mama's little kitty plate.
That's plenty. That's more than enough.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meal. We just want you to bless us with it, dear Lord, nourish our bodies with it. And watch over, lead and guide and direct us, Lord, and be with everyone on here and all the prayer requests that have been sent in today, and those spoken and unspoken, dear Lord. Be with this world that we live in and the leaders and all those involved, dear Lord. We just ask your blessing upon this whole situation. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So there it is. Just like home made, because it is. And
I can see the steam. I don't know if I put an iron on.
oh, I can see steam. That's what I was thinking. I was trying to cool it a minute. Are you ready, Mama? Do y'all know how hard it is to eat spaghetti in front of the camera?
I make a mess every time.
You have to be careful.
I got out, I say I'm Messy Marvin, and one person sent me a Messy Marvin little doll thing, and I was laughing showing Johnny the other day when I put it on the tree. Its little shirt's dirty in its face. It's got black on it.
Some of the meatballs come apart. Maybe put another egg in there, a little binder, but they still held up.
The garlic bread's good.
And I like the sauce like this.
I don't know if it's because we ain't had no bread or what.
All bread tastes good anymore, Mama, because we don't never get none.
I know it.
I like to load mine up with a little bit of spaghetti. I got the perfect bite then. little meat sauce, little spaghetti. Mmm. You were right. That fresh Italian bread I got at the store the other day. Makes it good, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the meatballs could have stood another egg.
Probably 2
They're
eggs would have been
staying good, but they're still.
And tomorrow they'll be fine, but another egg couldn't have hurt them.
No.
Mm-mm-mm. It's hard to get spaghetti without cutting it up. And you know, you can't cut it before you put it in there. I think that's some kind of bad thing.
You're not supposed to cut it no way, but that's the only way I can eat it.
A lot of people do it with a spoon. I've tried that before. Spoon and a fork.
I don't do no good.
Roll it up on there.
You do a lot better than me on that. I can't.
But the meatballs are delicious. Try them. If I can remember next time, I'll throw another egg in there.
The Italian breadcrumbs really gives it a good flavor too when you use those. I've had them the plain ones one time. And
You could use probably any kind of milk if you're lactose intolerant. You could probably use almond milk or something else. But what that does, the milk and the bread together just makes the meatballs wonderfully moist. I recommend you do that on your sausage balls if you're going to make them for Christmas as well. Wouldn't you, Mom?
mm-hmm.
I don't like sausage balls. Everybody's. Some of them are a little dry.
Some of them are very hot with a very hot sausage. I have to have them made with the mild sausage.
We may make some. For too long, we'll start doing some Christmassy stuff. So the meatballs are holding together. It's just some of them didn't when you put them in there, but that's fine
We
because it's
kind
meat
of
sauce.
crowd them in and steal it. Roughed them up a little bit and still.
But we always do. All those times when people say, don't crowd your skillet, you look at John and Mama's skillet, it's probably going to be crowded. Even on like potatoes and other things, people say, do not crowd your skillet. I hear them. And I'm like, wonder what that'd be like.
They ain't big a lot of cooks either. Cook a big lot. I'm used to crowding skillets.
Well, you cooked for 10 people when you was kids, so. You had to crowd them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Folks, that's all we got today. Hope you enjoyed it. Been a while. Here it is, 3 o'clock. We're eating 3 o'clock. We ate early breakfast.
We ate a late breakfast on account we didn't have electricity this morning. It didn't come back on when it's supposed to.
I guess the reason I'm thinking we ate early breakfast because I ate as soon as I got up.
Well, we waited till the electricity to go.
I'm usually up at 4:30 or 5. This morning I didn't get up till the electricity come on. It come on at
9:14.
9 something. I was awake, but I didn't sleep good last night because the electricity was off. And ain't that crazy? It was too quiet. It was too quiet. Every little thing woke me up. I didn't have my fan on.
That was what was wrong with you. Didn't have your fan.
I run my ceiling fan 365 days a year. It sometimes is on low, sometimes it's not. But in the winter, I think it keeps me warmer because it stirs the warm air up. And in the summer, of course, it keeps me cool. But with no noise, it just wasn't the norm. And it kept me awake.
No furnace ticking.
So I guess I felt like we ate early because as soon as I got up, we come and ate. And normally I don't do that. Normally it's a coffee hour, study my lesson for a while. The whole day's just a little off today.
That's what you were saying earlier. It wasn't Saturday and don't say.
I said, it don't feel like Sunday and it don't sound like Saturday. We go to church every time we're well. And because of the power outage, we didn't schedule church this
Well,
morning.
in sickness, we had knocked it off.
Yeah, we've had some sin, but mostly the power outage. But It's a different day. But we'll get through it. I'm about to get acclimated. It feels like we've had Southern Sunday lunch, and it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but it's, it's starting to feel normal. I've had Sunday school highlights. We've eaten lunch, so maybe my day will kick into a normal.
If it don't, there's always Monday. It'll kick in tomorrow.
It'll kick in the morning. It wasn't terribly cold this morning. I could have gotten up and been all right, but it was dark.
Extremely dark.
And there was no coffee. I could have gone out on the gas stove in the canning kitchen and heated me up some coffee in my hot stovetop percolator. But I kept thinking it's going to come back on a little bit.
Well, it's an hour and 14 minutes later than what.
Yes, it was. But we're blessed. And I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that everybody who worked on the power grid and everything last night is safe. I don't think anyone didn't hear of anything any differently. And so that was one of our things. We prayed for safety for the guys working.
They did a wonderful job, whatever they was doing, for them to get it back on as soon as they did.
We always pray for the safety. When it snows, those first responders and the people climbing them poles in the snow, and I couldn't even hardly walk to the mailbox if it was snowing here probably. I think about them.
Oh,
And we pray for them because that's serious. And then when you get up there, it's snowing, you're cold, your hands ain't working, or mine wouldn't be. And then
a lot of our lines goes through the mountains. They have it really rough.
And then you got to handle that electric line. I admire them, I really do. Thank you, fellas and gals that are doing that.
They deserve our thanks and then some.
Exactly. All right, folks, we're just chit-chatting now. We appreciate y'all. Keep following us. Share us with your friends. I did want y'all to do us a favor. I've had several of our people I know 100% have followed us from the beginning. And I've had more of them here lately saying, I don't get notifications when y'all are coming on. What is going on? Will you turn my notifications back on, John? Go to our page. Make sure you're on Coffee Time with John and Mama. Make sure it's 3 years old. And make sure there's 1,074 people on there, 73, something like that. And follow that page. Because sometimes when Facebook does an update, it unfollows some people. And sometimes if you've not commented or shared, then it assumes you're no longer interested and it'll take you off. So go and follow. Some of our people that I know 100% was on there was not. And I said, hey, you're not on there. And there's, well, we should be. So that solved that problem. So if you're not...
some of them's getting fooled by that Coffee Time with John and Mama
fans or recipes. And it pops up on mine all the time. And there's like 15,000 people on it. So 15,000 people on their own page. There's another one, Brenda Gant Recipes, that pops up all the time. It is her. It's her video, but it's not her page. Brenda Gant's is Cooking with Brenda Gant. Period. If you're on something called, I think it was Cooking with Brenda Gant Recipes was hers, and ours is John and Mama Fans. A lot of the influencers are getting those duplicate, but we're not hacked. It's just duplicate pages. They take our stuff, our image, and then they eventually try to lure you into giving them money or to send or to click on this. Don't do those. And anytime, and mine comes up on a reel, across the middle of my page, and it'll say, here's some groups that you may want to. No, I don't want to join any of those groups because they're all fake, but they all look legit. So if you're on one of those, all you have to do is go to that same page, unfollow and report that one, or just unfollow it, and then come over to our real page and follow it. So don't be fooled by the fakes. They're really, and Facebook don't do anything about them. Their words to me was, be honored that a group has chosen you all to be fans. No.
That ain't the way it works, really.
But they're not our exact names, so they can get by with that. So don't be fooled by it. And you all be careful and follow the real page. I think we might make that 175 before Christmas for Mama's 75th year But we'll take a 180 or a 190 or a 2,000 if we can get it by Christmas.
200,000.
200,000. Mama says she's changed it. You have a blessed day and count your blessings today. Just see what God's done. That always works to cheer you up. And make you some spaghetti and meatballs, or open you up a can of ragu or prego or whatever you want to use and make you some spaghetti. Make it the easy way, because next time that may be the way we make it.
Yeah, we use it a lot.
We switch around. Y'all, I love it when I'm doing that.
It was a work night. We went through all of this.
Right, and I love it when we have the fried chicken and the prego or the ragu and sport. It's just so good, you know. You don't need all the meat, like you don't need the meatballs and the sauce and chicken. Mm-mm. So we use the meatless usually when we're doing the chicken, or meat sauce, because I don't put enough meat in it to count. All right, Mom, you got anything you want to say?
No, I've enjoyed fixing it though.
I have too. It's been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, we ain't done it from scratch in a long, long time.
It's been a minute. Let's say goodbye, Mama.
Goodbye, Mama, and God bless you all. Have a wonderful day today.
Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.